It's Taco Thursday, folks. In case you missed it, Trump got a new nickname yesterday, and he's losing his mind over it. Let's check it out.
Mr. President, Wall Street analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country. And because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now. And I said, OK, I'll give you till July 9. I actually asked them, I said, what's the date? Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did what I did, they said, we'll meet anytime you want. And we have an end date of July 9th. You call that chickening out? Because we have $14 trillion now invested, committed to investing when Biden didn't have practically anything. This country was dying. You know, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I went to Saudi Arabia. The king told me, he said, you got the hottest, we have the hottest country in the world right now. 6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation. You set a number.
Yep, that is exactly what we call that.
Because you're a chicken. You're a chicken. Cuckoo-ca-cha! Cuckoo-ca-cha! Yeah!
Just to back up a bit, the reporter was asking about a new trend on Wall Street. Quote, taco trades. Taco stands for Trump always chickens out. The idea is that traders are buying up stocks when Trump makes one of his regular tariff threats and then selling them back to the market at a tidy profit when Trump inevitably chickens out. Watch Robert Armstrong, the columnist for the Financial Times, who actually coined the term taco trade, break down what it means and why it's been such an effective strategy on Wall Street.
Well, first, I was sort of knocked over that something that I'd said in my newsletter at the Financial Times to kind of just capture a little aspect of this moment made its way to the White House. But I think the president's response was very telling. The phrase hit a nerve with him because, of course, the facts support the taco thesis, whether it's been on electronics early on or the high tariffs on China or the Liberation Day reciprocal tariffs, or most recently, the high tariffs on Europe. Trump talks big, blows his trumpet, makes a huge fuss, and before negotiations even begin, before he's even made contact with reality, he backs off. And correspondingly, the markets panic at first, then he backs off and markets bounce right up again. And it's just undeniable that this is part of the pattern of markets and this administration.
Folks, we all know that Donald Trump cares deeply about nicknames. It's kind of his thing. You know what I'm talking about, Lil Marco. We also know that Trump is deeply, deeply insecure and cannot stand being laughed at or made to look weak. Let's take a look at another video.
The sad thing is now when I make a deal with them, it's something much more reasonable. They'll say, oh, he was chicken. He was chicken. That's so unbelievable.
It's unreal how easy it is to get under this guy's skin. And the internet knows all of this and has had an absolute field day in the last 24 hours. This is one of those rare times where I am very grateful for AI. Enjoy some tacos and chicken, my treat. Here's a couple memes that are circulating.
Cock-a-doodle-doo, folks. I'm Donald Trump.
And because we know Donald Trump loves the village people, we registered tacotacoman.com, tacotacoman.com, yesterday. It links to a site we previously created to track the amount of times Donald Trump has played golf since January. Spoiler, it's a lot. Take a look. All right. I could do another 10 minutes on chickens and tacos, but we've got a busy show today. Next up, remember how Mike Pence famously would not take a one-on-one meeting with a woman? Incel JD Vance has the opposite issue. No woman, not even a Republican member of Congress, wants to have dinner with JD. And he's not thrilled about it. Check it out.
I know we've got some solid allies in Congress. Is Cynthia Loomis out there today, or did she already go home? Well, you know, I was supposed to have dinner last night with Cynthia Loomis. We had a little event yesterday, and I looked around, I said, where the hell is Cynthia Loomis? And somebody said, well, she's got a dinner she had to go to. And I said, I'm the vice president. Unless she's having dinner with the president, Cynthia does not have an excuse to skip this event.
I guess what they say is true. Hell hath no fury like a hillbilly scorned. But to be fair to JD Vance, maybe it's not his personality that's so repellent. And the disastrous, unpopular Trump administration policies are why Senator Cynthia Loomis bailed out on the VP. When a senator from a deep red state like Wyoming doesn't want to be seen in public with you, you know you've got problems, JD. Because people are pissed, folks. Iowa Congresswoman Ashley Hinson held a town hall meeting yesterday and got repeatedly booed as she defended the awful budget that she voted for and the MAGA agenda. It wasn't just boos, though. Watch this Iowa farmer rip Hinson and the MAGA budget.
My name is Nick Larson. I'm from Walker, Iowa. I'm going to read my question just to respect your time. I'm a lifelong Iowan who grew up on a family farm. I attended college in Iowa, worked for a large corporation for 27 years, and retired early from executive leadership to return to my farming roots. I'm a self-employed farmer and consultant and purchased my health insurance through the ACA marketplace. The recent legislation passed by the House will result in at least a $4,000 tax increase for my family of four. This, along with an 88% increase in my homeowner's insurance, an 86% increase in my farm building and equipment insurance, will increase costs for my family by $10,000 in just 1 year. Insurance costs are killing Iowans. I've made multiple requests to your office to provide more information on how you're working to preserve the ACA and not raise taxes for Iowans like me. To date, you have not responded. Several weeks ago, a small-town self-employed stylist was cutting my hair, and she said to me, quote, I would not be able to do this if I couldn't get health insurance through the ACA. I'm an Iowa taxpayer who owns property in 3 counties, as well as 2 small businesses. I'm our local school board president. I'm a church trustee and donate time, gas, and equipment to mow our 6-acre church campus every week. I'm one of your constituents. I'm about as Iowan as you can get. Quite frankly, you owe me an answer today.
And the mood isn't any different in deep red Nebraska, where Republican Mike Flood got, sorry guys, absolutely flooded with boos that eventually crescendoed into a chant of tax the rich. Have you ever seen a grown man in a toupee try not to cry in public? Now you will. Let's take a look.
How do you justify the reduction of programs for poor while giving enormous tax breaks to the wealthiest 10% in the U.S.?
Well, ultimately, like I've said tonight, it's a balance. It's a balance. We need Medicaid for those that are the most vulnerable. We need Medicaid for those that are not able-bodied. We need Medicaid for the developmentally disabled and the mentally ill. We need healthcare services. We need EMTALA to work at our area hospitals. We need to know that if you present yourself at a hospital, we have a healthcare system that's going to help you. We are balancing that every single day. In fact, Republicans said that we need to protect Medicaid. All right, next question.
Folks, these events are not outliers. The American people are angry and getting angrier by the day over the actions and policies of this administration. Expect to see more and more of this over the summer as Congress goes home. Now, moving on, Fox News made Kash Patel sit in a giant chair and answer questions about Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy theories. No, seriously, look at this interview setup. Now, check out Kash give some answers on Epstein that are sure to enrage the QAnon crowd.
There are. The Epstein thing, you dealt with Maria, you said, as far as you know, he killed himself.
I'm telling you, he killed himself.
The other thing on the internet is the Epstein files. What's the answer to that?
The answer to that is the same as everything else. I'm not going to withhold information from the American public ever. But I'm also not going to rush to get it out there in a format in which they can't rely on it. So on the Epstein matter or any other matters, we are diligently working on that. And it takes time to go through years of investigations, years of political maneuvering, and years of cover-up to get the American people what they deserve. And that's what I'm going to give them on everything.
Yeah.
Finally, we've got America's next top moron, the collagen-infused Kristi Noem, flying across the globe to tell the Polish people how to vote. Not something they seem to appreciate, though.
The U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, said that Karol Nawrocki should be the next president of Poland. Speaking at the CPAC conference in Rzeszów in Poland's southeast, Noem also criticized his runoff rival and Warsaw Mayor, Rafał Trzaskowski.
I just had the opportunity to meet with Karol, and listen, he needs to be the next president of Poland. Do you understand me? It matters who's in charge. I have watched over the years as socialists and people that are just like this mayor out of Warsaw, that is an absolute train wreck of a leader, have destroyed our countries because they have led by fear. They have used fear to control people, and they've used fear to promote an agenda that is not what liberty is about.
Noem is right. Using fear to promote an agenda is not what liberty is about, but it is what Kristi Noem and the MAGA agenda are about.
If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return.
All right, my friends, thanks for tuning in again. I'll see you back tomorrow for more. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell icon so you get the latest episodes. I really appreciate everything that you guys are doing, especially to resist and tuning in. Please drop a line in the comments if there's anything you'd like to see or hear more of, or let us know what you think about the show. See you soon.